Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create here a banner below this section. So here in the index.html, below this, let me close this because it's here, this takes a lot of space. So I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to create here a new, I'm going to add here a comment, and then I'm going to say banner. And then here I'm going to create a new section, and I'm going to give this section ID. The ID would be banner. And then inside that section, we, as usual, we need a div. And for this div, I'm going to give it a class, the container class container. And I'm going to here add, inside it, I'm going to add some text. I'm going to here say h4. Let me say mid season sale. And below this, I'm going to display some text. I'm going to say h1, and then I'm going to say autumn collection. And I'm going to add a break because I want the text to be displayed below. The remaining of the text, I want it to be displayed below. I'm going to say up to 30% off. And below, I'm going to display a button. Here, I'm going to say button. And for this button, I'm going to give it a class. And that class would be text uppercase. And here, I'm just going to display on the button shop now. And for the banner, I'm going to give it a margin and padding. I'm going to say class my5 and py5. So this is going to give it margin top and bottom 5, and padding top and bottom 5. And these are Bootstrap classes. And let me now save, and let me head on over to the browser and refresh. And as you can see, this is the banner. And of course, this is not a banner because we don't have an image. So we need to display an image in the background. Similar to this. We have already done this, but this is going to be different. The difference is that this is going to be smaller, and also it's going to look, it's going to be kind of scrollable, where the image will be scrollable. So the image will remain inside the section. It's not going to go away if you scroll. Let me show you what I mean. After I finish this design, you will see what I mean. So remember here, I have given this section an ID called banner. So in the style, we need to create this this ID and work on the design. So in the CSS here, I'm gonna here say ID hashtag banner, and since we already have the design of the home, we can copy the design from the home section, from the home element. Remember, this home, we can copy this code. Let me copy this code, and then let me paste it here. Let me paste the code here in the banner. And we need to change the image, but I don't have an image now. I'm gonna change the image later. Therefore, I'm gonna keep the same exact image, and later I'm gonna change the image. And we don't need to change much. The only thing that we want to change is that we need to change the X and Y positions. So for the X position, I'm gonna say center, because I want the image to be centered horizontally. For the background position Y, I want this to be 80 px. So there is no problem with this. Another thing that I want to do is that I want to remove the repeat, because I don't want the image to be repeated. Therefore, I'm going to say here background repeat, no repeat. And the attachment, this is what's important here. Let me here say background attachment and show you what this is going to do. This is going to, if I say here fixed, this is going to make the image attached to the to the element. You will see this shortly. Let me now save and let me before I save and test, let me work on the designs of the texts. But let me first test because I don't want to work on other things and forget showing you this. So let me refresh and show you how it's gonna look like. So as you can see, this is how it's gonna look like. It's gonna be the image is not gonna go away. It will always be inside that section. As you can see, looks amazing. But we need to change, as I told you, the difference between this and this is that first of all the height is too large. Here the height is too large, and here it's attached to the element. So we need to decrease the height. Here I'm gonna say height instead of 100. I'm gonna say only 60. 60, only 60 here. Now let me refresh and show you the difference. So as you can see now, it's gonna only take 60 VM from the screen height, which looks amazing. Let's also work on these texts. So in order to work on these texts, we need to say here banner, and then H4. We have the H4. I'm gonna change the color. I think the H4 color looks good, so we don't need to change this actually. Let's change the color of the H1. So for the H1, let me check one more time. We have this H1 and we have this. Let's change the color of the H1 here. I'm gonna say here color, and I'm gonna use the coral color, and here this is the color. Let's also work on the button. So for this button I'm gonna say here banner and then button. So for this button I'm gonna change only the background color. I'm gonna say background color, and the background color is gonna be the orange color that I used earlier, which is this color. So now, as you can see, it looks amazing. It looks now amazing. And let's also add an effect to it. I'm gonna say here banner, and then button, and then hover. And if I hover over it, I want the background color to go black. This color. So let me now show you how it's gonna look like. So as you can see, if I hover over it, it's gonna look like this.